Continuing our story, we have the Autobots, Dinobots, and Maximals going against the last remnants of Quintessa's Decepticon army. And, yeah, they winning. They winning. They got Optimus back. They got Jazz tag teaming with Aqua Kinesis now. Oh, it's a wrap here. We actually go through and we actually get a good montage here. We got Drift slicing them up, Crosshairs putting two between someone's eyes. Oh wait, no, I think it's one between someone's eyes, right? Yeah, whatever. Hound giving the best curse outs in history while he's laying them out. Bumblebee just doing his regular thing of being in acrobatic pain. And you got obviously Hot Rod with the stop the time. Then you got Jazz one-shotting any big bruiser that comes his way. You know, it's it ain't looking good for Decepticons here. They're getting slapped around. They're getting ripped in half, eaten alive by the Maximals, who, by the way, are actually working in a well-coordinated team with the Dinobots. Yeah, even with Quintessa's, giant cannons and her super weapons on Cybertron and stuff, yeah, they're proving to be an unstoppable force. So in all honesty, it ain't looking too good. It ain't looking too good here. Oh, I also like to note, obviously, Ben and Lady Thor, along with Jury, are also here as well. All right. We even have a moment where the big cannon actually begins to overwhelm them, and Ben decides to go into way big, because why not, right? Why not just turn into the biggest alien here and just start curb stomping on everything? He even uses his energy cannon to take out a whole... I say energy cannon. Cosmic ray to take out a lot of them. And this is where we would see Megatron himself start to try and leave the battlefield, seeing as it a lost cause, even telling some Decepticons to retreat. However, Ben, seeing this, says that he's getting away, and Jazz immediately shoots Aqua Javelin. By the way, this was a move from the Dinosaur King manga, which I had found recently. So, expect a video on that sometime soon. And then you have Megatron actually dodging the Aqua Javelin with his jet form, actually using his aerial precision or his aerial experience to just make light work of it. However, while he's dodging the cosmic rays and the Aqua Javelin, Jazz then gets an idea and tells Ben they're going to have to do a fastball special. Using his grapple hook, he latches onto Waybig's hand, and Waybig begins... I said Waybug. Waybig begins to spin him around. Kind of like, how you do those yo-yos? Like, you just pull them out, and then you just, spin around. Yeah, he does that and throws Jazz at Megatron, and Jazz unleashes a flurry of Aqua Javelins that hit Megatron. As he latches onto him, Ben transforms into Portaler, which is credited by the Ink Tank and the respective creators, because I like the 5 years later aliens. They're absolutely amazing. So Portaler opens a portal to the desert, and Jazz says this is a perfect environment. He'll handle Megatron while they finish off the rest of the war. This is where we actually see Jazz plummet his hands into Megatron and steer him around. He steers him right into the portal as Portaler closes it. Optimus yells for Primal to scramble Air Razor to see if Jazz is all right, with Ben acknowledging that, yeah, he's fine. He ain't died or nothing. He can handle Megatron. Optimus is somewhat convinced that he can, but again, just in case, he has Primal, send Air Razor after him, while Portaler opens a lot of portals to give the Autobots an advantage. They make their way to Quintessa, where Optimus Prime is actually able to kill her, able to use the Matrix to absorb her power. Now, back in the desert, we have Jazz versus Megatron, and this is actually a different battle this time. Jazz is actually getting the upper hand because he's now in Megatron's head. He actually tells Megatron about how he used to be Cybertron's guardian, Cybertron's protector, and now he's actually letting it be subjugated by a tyrannical prime. Megatron tries to retort, saying that he's making Cybertron better for the future, but he tells him at what cost. He used to have the same ideals as a prime before he met the Fallen. And doing this, Jazz actually gains the upper hand using his speed and precision against Megatron and making sure Megatron doesn't land a hit. However, that doesn't go, too much as planned, and Megatron does land a flurry of hits. However, Jazz is able to get the upper hand and actually tears Megatron's cannon off and smashes him in the face with it. This is where he uses Aqua Vortex, not Aqua Vortex, Aqua Whip or Water Whip, whichever it was called in the anime or in the guidebook. So he uses that, and then this is when Airazor arrives. Now, he uses the Aqua Whip to fully just deal with Megatron, and Airazor arrives at this moment and asks him if he's going to kill him. Seeing that Megatron is not only defeated, but he's broken, as Megatron actually just sits there, pondering on what he's really done, and Jazz simply tells her no. This is where Airazor simply informs him that they've won. The battle is completely won. They would both look up and see that Cybertron is fully restored, with all the tendrils being pulled into it and meshing within the planet itself, meaning the materials they actually got from Earth or Unicron is pretty much just in Cybertron at that point. Basically, Cybertron is whole with some organic components. We would then see the Autobots talking amongst the humans that they have there, Jury, Ben, and Lady Thor. And this is where they decide that they're going to leave, or at least the Dinobots and the Autobots are going to leave towards Cybertron. And Optimus tells them that they'll have to deal with the Decepticons on their own. They'll have to deal with pretty much any Decepticon on their own. And Lady Thor asks Optimus, why? Why would you, go that route? I thought since they helped you that you would stay. And this is where Optimus puts his foot down and says that they've been hunted down and they've been slaughtered by the people that they swore to protect. They're leaving. And this is where Jazz kind of chimes in saying, yeah, you guys will be leaving. I'm not. And this is where he presents a broken Megatron before Optimus Prime and the rest of the Autobots, to which they arrest him. He's broken, both physically and mentally. And this is where Jazz says that he's going to stay on Earth and make sure that the Decepticons are dealt with. Besides, he doesn't want to go back home. He wants to explore this planet, get all the fights he can. And this is where the Maximus chime in that they'll be staying here as well, looking for their allies, as they have a bit of history with this planet as well. This is when Jazz turns into his human form and tells Optimus that he has a much better place here than he does on Cybertron. And to promptly go further with this point, Drew latches onto him and passionately. So, what happens in the next few years? Optimus accepts Jazz's terms, but instead promotes him to a commander, saying that when they need him again, he'll be there to help them. So Cybertron goes back into its orbit, and the Maximals actually help Jazz hunt down a plethora of Decepticons. There's some of the Decepticons they hunt down and actually execute rather than taking them into prison. This is where they have Bludgeon, all right? I would definitely give them a fight scene with Bludgeon. I definitely think having Mohawk, Nitro Zeus, and Onslaught actually being in the same town as in the last night. However, they would obviously it goes a lot quicker because the Maximals are literally beast forms in this one, and they scale to the Bayverse characters. So I think it's pretty pretty good here. They also take down Mindwipe, who, if you guys don't know, is a Decepticon telepath, and Jazz actually 1v1s Tidal Wave. Yeah, this is Tidal Wave from Revenge of the Fallen. And Jazz kills him with a combination of Aqua Vortex, and he actually learns the ability Aqua Crash. This ability allows him to not only contain his opponent in water, but he crashes into them at such a force that it causes them to, implode. But in this case here, he crashes into Tidal Wave with so much force that he just decimates him. knows could help him with this, and that's obviously Rockwell. Rockwell gives him a new series and a new set of DNA, with Northosaurus being the base genome, and with a couple other base DNA of some more land and mainly sea-based creatures. This actually gives Jazz the added boost and the added edge he needed in order to be perfect in not only underwater combat, but it also gives him a new form, to which Jury nicknames him the Leviathan. And this is because he actually becomes Legiacris, the king of the seas. Now, Legiacris would definitely be a good hybrid for Rockwell to create, especially with all these sea or crocodilian-like creatures that actually exist in the world today. With that, he's able to use it to either hunt down a lot of the cemetery wind remnants that have underwater bases, or any aquatic bases as well, or aquatic transports. However, that's not where I would end the story. I would end this at the... Sorry, not end the story, end this chapter. I would actually end it at this Arctic base with the Allspark fragment. Now, this is where Cemetery Wind would actually be studying it and trying to perfect its technology. And this would pan over to Ben, Jury, and Jazz, pretty much at this cliff-like area overlooking the base, getting ready to invade it. And that's where I'll leave it off here, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I'll see you guys for the next chapter, The Hunt for Unicron. Peace.